Welcome back everyone, it's Lucy here with a brand new Pilates program for you today. This class is specifically designed for anybody out there of a beginner's level who's just looking to build some more strength and stability around their glutes and hips. So please join me on the mat lying down on your right side. You can rest your head on your arm, make sure your hips are stacked. Float your top leg, the left leg, up into the air and straighten it out. Sweep it forward, pointing the toe, pull it back, flexing the foot. Sweep it forward, pointing the toe, bring it back, flexing the foot. So as you sweep your leg forwards and backwards, ensure that you're keeping your pelvis level. So try to always keep a small gap underneath the side of your waist. The area of muscle that you should be able to start to feel working is around the side of your glute or side of your hip. Breathe in as you float that leg forward. Breathe out as you pull it back, dragging the heel back through the air. After this one, stop when your leg gets back in line with your body and bend it slightly. From here, we're going to go into an open leg clam. So I want you to lift and rotate your top leg up and out, and then lower it down just to hip height. Breathe out as you lift and rotate it up and out, and breathe in as it lowers to hip height. The key here is that this movement is only happening in your left hip joint. We're trying not to rock the whole pelvis and lower back backwards and forwards. It's just the leg lifting and turning in the hip joint. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. And let's do one more. After this one, stop with the leg just up at hip height. Try not to rest it down and come up onto that right forearm. Slightly lift that right side of your waist in a little bit. Kick the leg back in line with your body and then bend it forward to about 90 degrees. Breathe out, press it back, straighten the leg. Breathe in, bend it in. Breathe out, push it back, straighten the leg. Breathe in, bend it in. So we're trying not to let the leg ever go below hip height. By now you should really be able to feel that your glute is working really strongly. Of course, if you do need a rest though, you just rest your leg down anytime. Breathe in as that leg comes in, breathe out as it goes out, and then rest it down on top of the other leg. Now we're going to continue to work on that same left leg. Come down onto your forearms and knees, set your neutral spine and lift your left leg up behind you with the knee bent. As you breathe in, lower the knee, tap it on the floor, and breathe out, lift it again. So we're lowering and lifting the leg between tapping the knee on the floor and lifting it up in line with your hip. After this next one, stop with the leg right up at the top, then turn it out and try and bring that left knee towards your left elbow. Take it back up to the top and lower it down. Take it up, turn it out towards the left elbow, take it back up to the hip height and lower it down. Fantastic. So it's going down and up and then out to the left elbow and back to the top again. So your glutes not only lift your leg up behind you, but they also rotate your leg in your hip joint and take your leg out to the side. Now this time straighten out that leg, lift it, lower it and bend it again. Lift it, lower it and straighten it again. Lift it, lower it, bend it. Lift it, lower it, straighten it. Lift it, lower it, bend it. Lift it, lower it, straighten it. Let's try and keep it up hip height and above if you can. And finally, relax that leg down. Excellent. Now let's go through that sequence on the other side. So we're now lying down on our left side so the right leg is on top. Remember the square pelvis position with the slight gap underneath your waist, and then float your right leg up to in line with your hip. From here, we're going to straighten it out. Point the toe as you sweep it forward and flex your foot as you drag the heel back through the air. The most important technique tip to think about is keeping that slight gap underneath your waist so that your hips remain stacked vertically on top of each other, and making sure that that right leg doesn't go below hip height. That's the key with all of these, is trying to keep that leg up at hip height. Really good. You're doing really, really well. Expect to feel that work coming at the side of your right glute around your right hip. After this one, we're going to pause with the leg back, we're going to bend it, and we're going to start to lift and rotate up and out now. So, when you're ready, lift and rotate up and out, and lower back down just to hip height. Breathe out, lift and rotate up and out. Breathe in, lower back down to hip height. Feel that rotation in that right hip joint. Try not to rock your whole body backwards, just the hip. Let's do 3 more together. 1, 2, last one, 3. Now stop with that leg up at hip height, try not to drop it, and come up onto your left forearm. Slightly lift the underneath side of your ribs and waist so we're not sinking towards the floor. Then sweep the leg forward to about 90 degrees with the knee bent, and then straighten it back behind you. Breathe in, bend the knee forwards, breathe out, push it back and straighten it. So again, that key technique point, we're not dropping the leg below hip height. That's the most important thing to try to really stimulate the glutes to work. Let's breathe in as the leg comes forward and out as it goes back. Straighten that knee as it goes back behind you. Fantastic, and rest that leg down. Now continuing the work around our right hip and glute, we're going to flip onto both knees and lower the forearms down onto the floor. So starting with our bent leg raises. As you breathe out, raise that right leg as high as you can with the knee bent, and breathing in, lower it down to tap the floor. Breathing out, lift, and breathing in, lower. Breathing out, lift, breathing in, lower. Fantastic. We're really trying to get that leg as high as you possibly can without arching your lower back, so your body should be remaining completely still. Let's add on that sideways movement now. So we lift the leg up to hip height, we turn it out towards the right elbow, take it back up to hip height and lower it down to the floor. Lift, turn it out towards the right elbow, take it back up to hip height and lower it down to tap the floor. So we're adding in that extra lateral movement of your hip joint now, as opposed to just going up and down. So we can just involve the glutes even more. And last bit, stop with that leg up at hip height, straighten it out. Lift, lower, bend the knee. Lift, lower, straighten the knee. Lift, lower, bend. Lift, lower, straighten. Lift, lower, bend. Lift, lower, straighten. Keep it going. We're only ever going down to hip height. Try not to drop it too low now. Keep strong through that right glute. Your left glute is probably still working from before as well. And last one. Rest it down. Well done. So that's the hard work done. Now it's really important when you're strengthening a muscle that you stretch it as well, because muscles tend to sometimes tighten up a little bit as they get stronger. So we're going to take our right leg forward in front of us into a pigeon stretch, where your knee is on the right side of your mat and your foot is on the left side of your mat. Your left leg is extended behind you. And then if possible, we're going to lean forward onto our forearms. But if that feels a bit too intense, prop yourself up on your hands with straight arms instead. You should feel this stretch in your right glute. And let's slowly change legs. When you're doing these kind of stretches, anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute is really great to try and hold them for. I hope today's sequence has given you a little bit of an introduction to some of the exercises that you can use to strengthen your glutes. Most of them can be done floor-based, and when those glutes are a little bit stronger, you can progress up to some standing single leg exercises as well. Let's hold this stretch just for a couple more breaths. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. I absolutely love having you here on this journey with me. I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel just to help out with the support. And I can't wait to see you next time already. Bye.